Okay, I've got a lot written, a lot of scripts, a lot of letters I've written, thoughts down, and I was wondering what else I was going to say. I mean, I have a lot to say. So I'm going to read a letter that I wrote to, well, I better not say who. I don't want to draw other people in. People close to Shea, who kept enabling him and pretending he wasn't a problem and letting him become the monster that he is now. So, part 5. I'm going to read this letter because it says some things I haven't said, some things I have already said, and some things I haven't. I like it, so I'm going to read it. Cut to the chase here. Enough mollycoddling and enabling him, enabling Shea. Enough turning a blind eye to his behaviour. How does he keep getting away with awful behaviour and have so much money thrown at him that he will never use to help himself? He's absolutely useless at looking after himself. Why do we all let him get away with everything? Stop it. Stop being diplomatic and treading on eggshells. I wish I'd done that. He's a grown man in his 50s. Time to face the music. Time to face the truth of what he is. A narcissistic sociopath. Yeah. A man who struggles to pretend to be human. He doesn't know how to treat others as human beings. No more sob stories from him. He is not unfortunate. He's so goddamn lucky to have a family that forgives his every trespass and then throws enormous amounts of money at him. This is to his brother. He'll never see this, but I wrote to his brother. Brendan, you should have contested the will. He poisoned the well against you. For 13 years that I knew him, he called you a psychopath and told me that your mother agreed with him. He stole what you deserved. I always thought it was a bit unfair, but then Shea always gets what he wants, doesn't he? He vilified you for 13 years, longer, actually. Told me stories about you. Told me your son wasn't actually yours and that you hid that truth so that you could get your hands on inheritances via your son from your mother and grandmother. Of course, Shea never said that you said that. He just inferred it. He told me your mother and him saw through that, hence why there was no money for your son. If that's the truth or not, I have no idea. But I now no longer believe anything Shea has told me. I did always have some doubts. He told me when you were last together that you deliberately put your arm around his neck and hurt him. He said he was sore for days and it set him back permanently. Again, more of his woe is me and disaster around every corner bullshit. How he lives is what causes him pain. He's an idiot. Shea destroyed my trust in people. And I mean obliterated it. I compartmentalize every part of my life now. I simply cannot trust people. And I used to be a very, very trusting person. I liked that about me. That I wasn't crippled with paranoia, suspicion, and worry, like Shea. That man has made me more like him, and goddamn I resent that. He had no right to take my trusting nature away from me. From the beginning, he manipulated me to control me and get his way. He would weaponize anything against me, especially his health. He would leverage me with anything. Our plans to move, his health, even our friendship. He would actually use him being my friend as his leverage against me to win. And because I wanted to be his friend, I let it happen time and time again. I too enabled him. I enabled him to manipulate me. If I didn't, we would have stopped being friends years ago. That's how much he valued me. That's what he does to everyone close to him. Shea justifies not listening to people by making those people unreasonable in his mind. I'm the anger addict. Brendan, his brother, is a psychopath. Gwen, his grandmother, is addled and doesn't understand people manipulating her. He does this, everyone. Everyone has some weakness that they can't be reasonable because of it, so then he can dismiss people. So even if those people love him, even if he cares for them in return in his own twisted way, he doesn't have to listen to you if you are easily manipulated and addled. He doesn't have to listen to you if you are crazy or have a personality disorder, which he accused me of. I'll get to that in another letter. He doesn't have to listen to you if you are a psychopath, like his brother, apparently. Or if you're just after his money, like his uncle. Or you only want revenge on him, like his exes. Once he's vilified you, or decided in his mind that he is superior to you in decision making, then no matter what you say, he can dismiss it behind your back without you ever knowing why he's dismissing you. Because he never told me this until the email that I haven't read out to you guys yet. Right at the end. You never know what he really thinks of you, and so you never have a chance to defend yourself or disabuse him of those notions. You can't win with him. You can't win because he doesn't really care. He doesn't care about anything or anyone. Not really. At the end of the day, Shea is out for himself. He is the centre of the universe, the only person who matters to him. He respects no one's opinion but his own. Is he starting to sound more like a psychopath yet? But Shea is an abject coward. I've never met a longer, yellower streak of piss in my entire life. I always hated that about him. It always bothered me, but I overlooked it because we're all allowed our flaws. It never stopped bothering me just how much of a coward he was, even in situations where he would not be threatened physically. Years ago, I asked him, I used to go into IMDb forums, and this was a Batman versus Superman forum. Absolutely toxic shithole, as I'm sure some of you viewing this will know. And incredibly racist, incredibly sexist, even more sexist, because at least people would speak out against the racism. No one would ever speak out against the sexism, and I asked him to. I asked him, Shea, look, you act in the comics, you should go online, you should go into this forum and defend me. I asked him nice, I didn't say you should, I said, please, can you just add your voice of reason? And you said yes. He said yes, and he went on, and he wrote something, and then I read it, and it was just him talking about his credentials and nothing else. And I said, why are you telling them all this stuff about yourself, like what your credentials are, and you're going in there like hardcore, angry like, and you haven't talked about the topic at all. And he says, well, I don't know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to a 14-year-old or an adult? So it doesn't matter. You're not threatening their life or swearing at them. You're just talking about sexism. You said yourself you're a feminist, Shea. You call yourself a feminazi even. Whatever that is, asshole. And then people on the forum were like, what the fuck are you talking about? No one knew why you were just going in there talking about yourself. And you never went back. And I was fucking furious with you. And I had every right to be fucking furious with you. You went in after I asked you to defend me and be the feminist you say you are, and then you just fucking talked about yourself. And nothing else. And you never went back. Why would I be angry about that? And while we're on this topic, you've never once said or done anything remotely feminist. All you ever talk about, all you've ever mentioned is equal pay, nothing else. You never asked me about what it's like to be a woman and the things I've endured. Being refused jobs because I'm a woman, being dismissed, being assaulted sexually and physically verbally, everything for being a woman. You never gave a shit about any of that. It was just a title you gave yourself because you thought women would like that about you. So you said you're a feminist. The women will respect me for that if I say I'm a feminist, but it meant nothing to you. You're not a feminist. In fact, you would say really insulting things. You would bitch about social justice warriors, like giving a shit is a bad thing. Well, the last time I visited your place, you were laughing at the term internalized misogynism, which I said actually explains a lot. It happens with racism, internalized racism. You don't understand anything about anybody. I think deep down you're actually a really bigoted piece of shit. I think you're not remotely a feminist. You don't understand women at all. You don't understand their struggles. You don't understand anybody's struggles. Because you only care about your own. Whatever they are. Your life is easy. You do nothing. I think I'll end it here for now.